This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
We're drinking toast. Coming up, the shot of the day is on the way. The return of Noah Sherlock. In the meantime, the game is Big Dummy 844-999-OLA. We have Wes playing for Team Not Sober, working on question number 2.
And here is that question. What is another term for a tie score in tennis?
Oh, yeah. It was good talking to y'all, but love.
Mr. Confident.
Nothing worse than sending out cockiness before you've actually done it.
Dude, damn it.
Deuce.
Yes.
That's a deuce.
What Kim Jong-What's face wouldn't do.
Never did it. Yeah,
Never
love
did.
is when you have a score and your opponent does not.
Yeah.
Love is 0.
I should have made it a little bit more
I'm glad
specific.
I don't know that.
They're tied with 40. It's not just a tie game. It's tied
All right,
with 40s.
tie with 40, right, deuce.
Well, dang it, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, it's your
I just
fault.
wanted to get on top of it before the commenters rolled in.
Oh, no worries.
That doesn't stop them. All right, here is your question. What is the main cause of chronic bronchitis?
Smoking?
Okay. There you go.
Oh.
All right, good job, Wes. Very good. Game is Big Dummy 844-999-OLA. You would have to think that would be it. Unless you live in a highly polluted area. But, you know.
Outside of living in Beijing.
That's it. Big Dummy is the game. 844-999-OLA. Who is our next contestant? Ready to play?
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Jeremy, sober, not sober?
Sober.
Sober, Jeremy, welcome to the show. And Jeremy, we have a men's room poll for you as usual. It is, what pisses you off more? People who don't say please, people who don't say thank you, or people who don't say sorry, excuse me?
I get really irritated if people get right in front of your way, walk into like a grocery store. So they excuse me. I need to hear excuse me.
Okay.
I'm never going to say that to you. I'm going to cut you off. And you know what I'm going to do? Instead of saying excuse me, I'm going to cut you off and just say thank you. That way I'm letting you know that you were being kind, even if you weren't feeling that way. Thank you for letting me cut in front of you. Thank you so much. All right, here's your question. Right. Which child star was the first choice to play in The Wizard of Oz?
I'm assuming it's Dorothy.
I think I know this one, so I'm going to say Shirley Temple.
That's the only other one that could even be. There's no other guess.
That's the only possible answer.
I can't even think of any other child actor, period, of any other sex.
That's the only reason I guessed it right. So I'm like, because she's the only I didn't even know they're alive at the same time. But again, if I have to go back deep, I'm like,
nobody knew the real name of the Little Rascals, right?
I couldn't tell you.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you knew who Alfalfa was, but you don't know who his real name is. But the only two I ever heard of were those two. Game is Big Dummy 844-999-OLA. Who's our next contestant? Ready to play the game?
Hello, Timmy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Hola. Timmy, sober, not sober?
Sober.
Sober, Timmy, welcome to the show. Timmy, men's room poll. What pisses you off more? People who don't say please, people who don't say thank you, or people who don't say sorry, excuse me?
I would say sorry, excuse me, because you can be courteous with please and thank you in many other ways, but if you the physical bump and don't say, sorry, excuse me, that's just a douche.
Okay.
And that's a douche. All right, your question. What is the third largest island in Australia? And as a hint, be stereotypical.
I have no idea.
Be stereotypical.
Stereotypical of Australia. We'll just say kangaroo.
Nice.
Wow.
Kangaroo Island is
Kangaroo Island.
Kangaroo Island.
I've never heard of Kangaroo Island.
Neither have I.
Because I was going to guess, all right, well, if they're really technically islands, then Australia would probably be number 1. New Zealand would be number 2.
But New Zealand is not
a
Australia.
different country.
Yeah. And
see, man, they get mad about
Tasmania.
That. They get mad about that.
Oh, of course they do.
But you keep doing it.
I know, but they get pissed off about it. I don't understand why. Why would anybody be so confused? Game is Big Dummy 844-999-OLA. Who is our next contestant ready to play the big game?
Hello, Anders. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Anders, are you sober or not sober?
Sober.
Not sober?
Sober.
Sober, Anders. All right, buddy. Let's see here. Men's room poll, what pisses you off more? People who don't say please, people who don't say thank you, or people who don't say sorry?
I'd have to say sorry, especially when that little shoulder check is involved.
Okay. Sorry's coming on strong here.
Sorry to hear that.
Excuse me?
Here's your question. What magazine's slogan is, quote, America in your pocket? Pocket! America in your pocket!
America in your pocket?
Mm-hmm. Uncle Sam getting handsy.
Time?
Is it Reader's Digest?
Reader's Digest, right, based on the size. You still need a big-ass pocket to put a Reader's Digest in it, man. All right, your question. What is the term for a two-door sedan?
Coupe.
Okay, very good.
Well done.
Yeah. All right.
Coupe. Yeah.
Game is Big Dummy. I think we have time for another contestant or two. 844-999. Ola, who is our next contestant ready to play the game?
By the way, do they still publish Reader's Digest?
Sure. I bet it's probably like one of the
For real?
top 10 still published magazines. We have no idea.
Really?
I would guess, just because it's so weird. And everybody who has it probably has had a subscription and has never thought once
For
to
40
cancel
years.
the subscription. Correct.
I don't know. It used to be like at the dentist's office. I don't even find it there.
I've never seen it. I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to get it.
Yeah, my grandmother did too. Hello, Ken. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, Ken, are you sober or not sober?
Not sober.
All right, Ken, welcome to the show. Ken, men's room poll, what pisses you off more? People who don't say please, people who don't say thank you, or people who don't say sorry, excuse me?
And I've been listening to everybody's comments and stuff, and I got to say this, sorry, excuse me, people that don't say that.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, here's a question. This comes from Mike Hawk, and I want you to think long and hard about this, all right? Because you have to read my mind. Which actor portrayed the Incredible Hulk?
Which actor portrayed the Incredible Hulk?
That is correct.
Okay, there's various different ones that did that. So
Yeah,
I can't give
you a hint. You have to guess which one I'm thinking of.
Well, if you play it...
Well, I'm gonna go with the original and go with Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, well, that is a perfect answer. Well, I was thinking Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, dude.
He's right, but I was thinking, see how hard that is? You have to see if you can guess which one I'm thinking of. I mean, you're right. Lou Ferrigno, he wasn't right. But I was thinking Mark Ruffalo. Let's try it again. All right, try it again.
Okay.
Which 1990s World War II blockbuster movie was directed by Steven Spielberg?
Saving Private Ryan.
See, you're right, but I was thinking Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Damn. It's about what I'm thinking, see?
Why do I get the call of where you're thinking of something?
I don't know. It's the new category in the game. What do you want me to do? You've been right.
Okay.
You're right. It's just not the one I'm thinking.
Okay.
You could be writer.
You could be writer.
Or you could be more wrong.
I could be... All right.
Which Steve is the co-founder for the company Apple?
Which Steve?
Yeah. Steve. Thank you, Ted.
I got nothing.
Job.
I was thinking Wozniak.
Yeah, I know it's going to be... Yeah, it can't be that.
Sorry, man. I mean, you're right. But it's not what I was thinking.
It's a crap category.
What are you talking about? All right, this one's easy.
Question number 4, Ken.
All right.
What is the mascot for the University of Auburn?
War Eagle.
Miles jumped in. I was thinking the Tiger.
No, you weren't.
I was.
Because Tiger is the obvious answer, and no one says War Eagle. So
I would think
he
War
was
Eagle.
Say
I
Tiger,
was thinking
and then
Tiger.
he was going to say War Eagle.
You're
you
wrong.
Say no, because War Eagle. I know how this.
I mean, you're right. That's a
now.
mascot, but it's not the one I was thinking.
Question 5.
Oh, trust me, you don't know how this game is played.
Yes,
Yeah. I don't think you understand how this.
I do.
I bet you even with 50-50 odds, you could be wrong 100% of the time.
A is B, B is A.
All right, I'll stop. All right. Okay, which state capital? This is not my opinion now. This is a factual question.
Okay, good.
Yeah, get your brain out of the weirdness. Which state capital shares the name with one of the last names of a member of this program?
Which state or state capital?
State's capital. You can name the state or the state's capital.
I see.
I figure if you can guess the state, you probably figured out the state capital.
Oh, I'm going through all your names.
My last name is Smith.
Mine is Hill. Miles is Montgomery. We have Hawk.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when you play not sober.
A lot of things happen when you play it on sober. We've experienced most of them.
Okay. Well, yeah, I got nothing.
Alabama. Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah!
Miles, Montgomery,
Yeah!
Alabama.
Your last name's Alabama?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we
Just
see
like,
where the...
just like true romance.
All right, your question. What is the term for cutting through the windpipe to open a breathing passage?
Tracheotomy.
All right. Yeah, there you go.
got it.
Now you're thinking
He
and
got
breathing
it.
through
And
your
TV
mouth.
and movies, they do that all the time to people.
What's that? Just give him a trach?
Tracheotomy. Yeah.
Trach him out? That would be very difficult for me to have to do that.
Yeah.
I think I'd grab what?
Like we have no training in that.
Maybe like a pencil. I'm not sure. And then just kind of edge it out. You know what I mean? If you had to do it.
Not a pencil, a pen.
All right.
A pen,
Okay.
yes.
All right,
By the way, yes, Reader's Digest is still in full publication. This guy says, my 85-year-old mother-in-law signed me up for the large print version.
Oh, okay.
So it's still around. And apparently it is the 7th most popular magazine still being published.
I told you it's part of the top 10.
That's unbelievable to me, man.
Yep. Okay.
All right, I get it. Everyone reads Reader's Digest. Like,
People
there's
are still
porn in
reading
that.
it.
Yeah, man, apparently. Yeah.
Unbelievable. There you go on Big Dummy. All right, coming up, the head chef, Ted's Meat and Potatoes on the way, goes out and eats late night. Also, No Ed Sherlock is coming up, as well as emails from the men's room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Head chef coming up, Ted's Meat and Potatoes goes out and eats late night. But first, time for a few emails from the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Ola Dinosaurs and the lovely Wobbin. My boyfriend Ryan turns 29 today. He's angry and hates everything except his dog, but somehow your show has touched his bitter soul. It would tickle him pink to hear his stupid name on the radio for his birthday. And these sound bites, please. A classic fish sandwich, a what the hell is that, bro, and a cut that bitch off. Next caller. Happy birthday, Ryan. That from the lovely Erin.
Fish sandwich? Oh my God, what the is that, bro? Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Bitches, I would like to wish my beautiful wife, Nova, a happy 31st birthday. She listens every day and thinks you guys are awesome. How about you guys talking all over each other about coffee and the birthday song? Thanks a lot, guys. Keep on rocking. That from Kyle. Coffee.
For me personally, man, the coffee I like most, the one from the cat's butt. You put a bean in the cat's butt. I'm going to go ahead and drink it, and I'm going to drink it.
I have a vanilla latte.
And then I poop. Today is my mother's 42nd birthday, and she would love a men's room shout-out in the form of an original barbershop fish sandwich. Thanks, guys. That from the lovely Samantha.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Hola, guys, celebrating number 57 with wings and beers at Buffalo Wild Wings tonight. Thanks so much for the years of a great show. Makes the work and commute a lot more tolerable. I'd really appreciate a big old Leroy Jenkins and a Suck It Up cupcake. Thanks, guys. That from Bo.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
So, suck it up, cupcake.
Ola Bacholas, today is my mother-in-law, Paula Bacon's birthday. She's an awesome teacher and 1 year closer to retirement. How about a big old Joey Chestnut and those dirty Germans whispering sweet, sweet nothings about bacon into her ear? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That from Jackie.
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, I hope you like your men like you like bacon. Greasy and fatty.
Yeah, and the best part about bacon is it's kind of what's going to happen to you. Pork.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitches.
All the Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
All right, a couple extra. As far as the winner, we had the lucky young lady who played the lottery for the first time. She just turned 18 up in Canada, and she hit for $1,000 a week.
Every week for the rest of her life?
For the rest of her life. And we said, man, that'd be all right. But we kind of did the math on that, and we said, well, let's just say she gets $4,000 a month roughly, and if that was the case, and they take 45% in tax away, so she really gets $2,000, so really she gets $500, whatever the deal was. Guys, in Canada, your lottery winnings are not taxable. So if you win $20 million, you take home every penny. So that teenager who won $1,000 a week for the rest of her life is pretty well set up. Cheers, bitches. That from Steve the Wood Pig.
Uncle Sam got some sticky fingers.
Steve the Wood Pig.
The Wood Pig,
Who
yes.
gave you that nickname, Steve? That's a good one. The relative I wish I wasn't related to, my answer is my aunt on my dad's side. She is literally bat-S crazy. She'll get in her truck and go blazing through the field, chasing people out of the area because she believes they are spying on her. My uncle had to get rid of all the firearms in the house and then double-check to make sure they were all really gone. That includes all the ammunition as well. I personally believe she needs to be admitted to a loony bin. I will say this, I know of a family member where that is the case, where they had to go in and take everything out of the house for fear.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah. And it was a big deal. They were not happy about that.
What about taking the firearms out of the house?
Ammunition, firearms, everything. Yeah.
I think you have a relative, sort of, that I think if they come to visit, you just need to take the condiments out of the house.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah, just say it.
Guys, I was listening to your show and got a great laugh out of the things that reminded me growing up. I was living with my grandparents. I was about 14 and found out that my biological grandfather on my mother's side, not the side I was living at, was the head of a group of like a KKK group in his area.
All right.
And had kicked my mother to the curb when he found out that she had a child with a black man consensually. Second, I moved to Oklahoma for this chick only to find out that her stepfather was a part of a new nationalist Nazi party. I moved from Tennessee to Oklahoma only to find this out, and she hadn't told me before I moved. Boobs and bitches. That from Adelina.
I didn't think you'd come.
In response to the question, who do you wish you were not related to and why? My answer would have to be my mother. My wife is from Iceland, and she was moving to the U.S. so we could get married. We had to provide various information to Homeland Security and the Navy, as I was still enlisted at the time, and she was a foreign national. My mother was supposed to help us get her name on my mortgage. She does loan processing, offered to do it pro bono. Fast forward a month later, and we're interviewed with DHS. They ask questions, we answer, we go home. While in with DHS, we're asked about our shared assets. I say, yes, we own a home together. Later come to realize this is not the case. My mom never did the paperwork, going so far as to, quote, misplace it. So basically, we unknowingly lied to Homeland Security. My wife could have been deported and reported if they found out. I could have been kicked out of the military and my security clearance stripped, and my marriage obviously would have been ruined. This is also after my wife burned her bridges, dropped out of college, signed away her trust fund, and basically committed entirely to moving and getting married. So my mom and me, we don't talk, guys.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. And one more.
Oh, mamma mia.
As far as your puking story, for 10 years now, at least twice a year, I will start throwing up while having a bowel movement, and it won't stop for at least 3 days.
Tell me you're single.
I've gone as long as 5 days before I finally had to go to the ER. I used to keep garbage bags next to the toilet just for when it happens, but now that my 2-year-old is potty trained, I use that instead to throw up for easy cleanup. Been hospitalized numerous times with severe dehydration from it, and still have not figured out what the cause is. I've had numerous tests, and the camera tore from both ends, but nothing. Had one ER doctor in one of the first visits tell me it was marijuana narcosis, which I called BS, because that's one of the only things to help the nausea, and I was still having symptoms after being totally sober for a year. Still suffer from symptoms on occasion, so can't wait till the next episode. Good times. That from John in University Place. All right, still to come. We'll drink and tell us with a shot of the day. No Ice Sherlock on the way, but first,
time to open wide and sample Ted's meat and potatoes. Now, here's your host, head chef of the men's room, the Ted Nugent.
Head chef in the house. Woo! Yeah.
Woo! Good to see everybody out here. You know, like most good head chefs, I've been known to enjoy an adult beverage or two. That's not just a chef. That's cooking lifestyle. It is. It really is. Yeah. So you have a couple beverages, and then, you're working at your restaurant. You're wondering, where could I go later in the night to get some food? Now, that's just us cooks. But anybody has the same thing, right? You go to a city, whether you're visiting, whether you're staying there, sometimes you just got to eat food late at night.
And sometimes you...
Because you've been getting drunk all day.
Yeah, you maybe haven't eaten a lot earlier, and now it just kind of hits you, and you know if you get something in your stomach that the next morning won't be nearly as bad as it would be if you didn't have anything in there.
I don't think it's as much as that for me late night. Sometimes we're just drunk and hungry.
I think it's just cocaine's wearing off. You know it's time to eat. You haven't eaten in 3 days.
Yeah.
Right?
So this survey is like the top 20 metropolitan areas. Basically, they took into account like number of restaurants that are open late, also transportation. Is there mass transportation that can get you to these places and stuff like that? So I would say most towns, wherever you're at, there's probably a McDonald's or a Taco Bell.
Sure.
Something that's 24 hours.
You hope so.
Yeah, but a lot of these cities offer a lot more. But keep in mind, transportation was a big part of it.
All aboard the waffle train.
Yeah, so there's 20 of these. We'll wait till we get to the to break it down till we get to the top 10. But you got like Raleigh, North Carolina, College Town.
North Carolina State.
Right. Nashville, Tennessee. That makes sense.
Late night party town.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
and then
walk around.
they just put a general area, and you'll sense a theme in this list, right? These are popular metropolitan areas. Northern Virginia. So what you need to understand if you've never been to the D.C. area is that there's D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Northern Virginia they're all kind of together, but Northern Virginia is kind of its own separate area.
For sure.
Is that more diners, you think?
I think that's a big part of it for the East Coast places, too.
Yeah.
You're going to have diners.
Okay.
So Northern Virginia makes it in there. This one kind of surprised me. Indianapolis, Indiana.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Good for you, Double I. Yeah. I'd have never known.
Columbus, Ohio makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
College Town. Toronto got in there. I thought this was just about the states, but, Ontario.
What is that about?
Yeah. And then Newark, New Jersey. I have to imagine that's got to be diners. This one I like. Montgomery County, Maryland. So that's the separate county just outside of D.C.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. And having lived there for a while, I can guarantee you if you ever go there late night, you will eat at Manny and Olga's. And I don't know how to explain it. They have everything. Pizzas,
DC
fries,
has great late night food. They really do.
So then we get to number 12 on the list, and that is Dallas, Texas. They say and these are average closing times for restaurants on Saturday. They say 2:15 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dallas is one of those few places, too, that I went to a strip club there with my uncle many, many years back, and that was where you went to eat. They were famous for their steaks and stuff like that, so I'm assuming you could go in late at night.
You know you got a good steak when you have a stripper on stage and you're still worried about ordering.
Right.
Like,
Dallas
that's a sign of... Or you're really ugly
It's just
stripper.
kind of what you do. I don't understand. It's a different culture in strip clubs down there. It's
completely different. I was just there less than a year ago, and it wasn't like, hey, is there strip clubs? I just got in a car, and the guy was like, all right, so you want to go to this strip club? I was like, what about Tex-Mex? He's like, you go to that place. There's no strippers. Go to this strip. Like, they are big about it, right?
Yeah, it's like you need to see nude people when you eat food.
Very important.
It really is.
Number 11 on the list of late night eating metropolitan area, Austin, Texas.
I believe that.
Right.
Okay.
Again, I haven't
town.
been there. Right. It's a hipster town. It's a huge college town, and it's an up-and-coming town. So it's a big food place.
It is a big food. My only knock on Austin, my parents lived there a couple of years ago. I went to visit, and it's a fine city, but as far as transportation or just walking around, it's still Texas size.
That right.
You know what I mean?
So that is what I've heard.
You're not like walking from one place to the other place, man. You can
Take
go anywhere you
a
want.
cab
you
everywhere?
can grab an Uber, do what you're going to do.
All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, like I said, it's in Texas.
So you can't go to a section of Austin and just kind of...
There's a few sections, but I mean, the thing, like, if you're talking about food, the food is good everywhere. If you're in the state of Texas, the food's going to be good. Let that just be understood.
Yeah.
But so with that, if it's about bar hopping, then there's definitely sections you can go to. But to this list point, if it's just, hey, man, we want good food.
Okay.
You might roll. If you want to get away from the drunkards, the chances are you're in an Uber driving 20 minutes.
Yeah, like in Dallas, we walked over to a different neighborhood, right? Now, it was only a little over a mile, but it's not set up for walking. There was trains and buses and stuff, but we had to run across the highway.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's...
Yeah.
That's typical.
Like, you can walk, right, but it's not built for walking.
All right, Miles, hit it. Let's get to number 10.
All right, number 10. Here we go.
10. Number 10.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right, yeah.
Now, I think some of these in the list, I think all of us in the room can also probably name some places. When I say Pittsburgh...
Pamani Brothers.
Pamani Brothers.
I think great Italian food and affordable food and nice people.
Well, I was going to say Pamani Brothers and the O. Hot dog place. They're kind of right next to Pamani Brothers.
They are. They're very close.
You got to make a choice.
And the food is very good, man.
Hot dogs. Yeah, it's comfort, but I mean filling.
Real comfortable.
It's
a real comfortable.
It's a nap.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. Though.
It's nap comfortable.
Pittsburgh. I'm glad they got to mention it. Still hate the Steelers.
Number 9.
Denver, Colorado.
Whoa.
I haven't been to Denver.
You know,
maybe it has a good late night scene. I don't know. Because, to be fair, we were a little let down when we went to Denver. That's just us. But we drank enough that we passed out long before you're doing maybe 2:15. So maybe it opens up.
Yeah, they say the wide variety of cuisine, and that basically they got a lot of these restaurants in Denver were getting great reviews, so that helped bump them up the list.
Okay.
Number 8.
Atlanta, Georgia. Hot
Atlanta. I haven't been there in a long time, but you'd have to think that with Buckhead and all that stuff and the late night party scene, clubs staying open and everything else, you'd need to have good food.
But I bet you in Atlanta, just like everything you get is going to be delicious.
And if not,
unhealthy,
you still have a Waffle House open all 24 hours.
I don't feel like fighting, but I just want to eat food.
They have chains that are open 24 hours. Like a lot of cities don't even have chains.
But they're saying, again, a lot of different cuisines. The transit score is pretty high, and the average closing time on Saturday, 2:30. I mean, again, Atlanta, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Varsity. Apparently, I like famous hot dog joints.
Yeah, I just like areas that have 20, like Perkins of the world. It's not the greatest food in the world.
Perkins?
It's a chain. Have you ever eaten at a Perkins?
Damn, man.
Like,
they're trying to give you, like, a city center to go to do things that aren't Perkins. I mean, the list could say, and if you got Perkins, it's open. But
it's not bad. It's like 24 hours.
I'm glad someone else did this list.
I gotta be honest with you. I've always lived in cities. Like, I never saw Perkins until I left the city.
Yeah, they're not in the city. That's all right. I wish they were.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Again, that close to Jersey, I'd have to think diners, cheesesteak places stay open late. Like anything right there.
They have to because the line is like 7 miles long.
Yeah. And any of those kind of famous places, like you can go there any time of night. You're going to get that food. Greasy spoon kind of stuff.
Just know what you want to order before you get up there.
And bring your own beer if you go to the New Jersey side. Because you can.
Number 5.
Los Angeles, California.
Sure. I mean, come on, yeah.
Now, there you're going to have to drive a little bit. Their transit score is not too hot. But again, you're going to have a number of different options in cuisine, and they have a much higher number of actual 24-hour restaurants there,
I can believe that, man. That city kind of goes.
Yeah, L.A. seems like that kind of place.
Probably. Is it the only West Coast city on the list? Probably is.
I bet you San Fran would be on there. I'm guessing.
Okay.
No, you're right, Ralph.
Oh, damn. Never mind.
Number 4.
Did we skip 5?
Oh, did we skip 5? You want 5?
I thought we just did 5.
I thought we just did 5. You want 4?
Well, I didn't say 5 yet.
All right, let's do 5 then.
Number 5.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Food. Boston's got great food, too. I mean, most major cities have pretty good food.
But it's a major city, and then you add colleges on top of it. Like, it's everything about that equation says we're going to have a lot of places open late.
All those cities
I also have a late-night place downtown. I like to mention in Boston, technically Somerville. Redbone.
Does it serve hot dogs?
No, it's
okay, all right.
4.
Miami, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
That goes without saying.
Okay.
Miami's a 24-hour town.
It's not 24 hours. Here's the problem. Everyone calls it a 24-hour town. In my experience, it's that no one actually goes out until 11.
Yeah, well, same thing.
You know what I mean? Like
LA.
during the day, there's nobody. I mean, there's people that go to the beach and there's tourists, but like 11 o'clock at night, man, you become the ugliest, fattest person in the area.
So people go to bed, then they wake up like halfway through and go out.
That's exactly.
I mean, I think New York City's kind of the same way.
Sure.
People don't go out till really late.
Mm-hmm. Okay. These are the top cities for late night eats.
Number 3.
Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Never had a bad time in Chicago, man.
No, man. Italian beef, deep dish pizzas.
I don't think I ever saw any of those places close. Like the famous places, were in the area that I was in, they were just open all night long with people in there and it was packed.
Yeah, man.
So
I like Chicago's. It's a massive city, but it's Midwest enough to be a little nicer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and their food is ridiculous. They take that state fair type food to a different level.
Yeah, and serving in a restaurant.
I saw a woman having this thing that was like a pina colada and it had a piece of cake on top of it. It was insane.
Then he's in the hospital.
Yeah. Number 2.
New York, New York.
Yeah, come on.
Right. So that's not number 1?
That is not number 1.
That is not number 1.
I told you earlier. You said
right.
the theme.
Number 1.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Besides the fact it's the nation's capital, there's also a lot of colleges in that area and stuff. One quick story about Washington, D.C. I worked at a bar, the place next door. We used to get these chicken sandwiches at 3 a.m. when we got off. We were always drunk. One day we said, let's go down there sober and get these chicken sandwiches. They were awful. But we loved them at 3 a.m.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. Still to come, we'll drink and toast. The shot of the day is on the way, and the return of No S. Sherlock is coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Still to come, we'll drink and toast. The shot of the day is moments away, but first, our own Steve the Thrill Hill combs the globe. Looking for stories with headlines that scream.
Well, no Sherlock?
Cannabinoids are easier on the brain than booze, study finds.
Oh, no, Sherlock!
Social anxiety is related to a preoccupation with making mistakes.
Well, what do you know about that? No, Sherlock!
Water slide that decapitated boy violated basic design standards.
Really? Well, no, Sherlock!
Man.
Wealthy kids feel more control over their lives.
No, Sherlock!
And yours. Stormy Daniels makes Donald Trump sound a lot like Harvey Weinstein.
No, Sherlock!
Police officer confirms that lies about marijuana smell are used to justify illegal searches.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. No, Sherlock!
That's lame.
Like you didn't know.
I know.
I smell marijuana. No, you don't.
And the right
man.
word is lame.
I love this one. Calculators prove to be a plus for young mathematicians after all.
Gee willikers, are you kidding? I cannot believe it. No, Sherlock.
I'm going to guess mostly because it's a calculator. Wetting your hands is not the same as washing them.
Well, no, Sherlock.
Corporate tax cuts unconscionable when poverty is rife, critics say.
Well, what do you know about that? No, Sherlock.
Trump to make one or two major changes to his government.
Oh, no, Sherlock!
Facebook admits it wasn't the wisest move, threatening to sue journalists before data breach scandal was exposed.
No, Sherlock!
Man.
Come on, man. Look, if your company's that big, you know they go dirty. I mean, it's just how it is, dude. You don't get that big and don't
No,
have
I'm
to.
with you. I mean, I think that's just the game plan.
Thug life, brother. Trump's staff turnover, highest of any administration in modern history.
Really? Well, no, Sherlock!
And mumps resurfacing in U.S. due to declining vaccinations.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. No, Sherlock.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. All right, Wobbit, and we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drinking time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an unidentified, and I'm sure he's happy about that, man from the United Kingdom. I believe Mike Hawk will have more on this guy a little later, but just know there's a guy in England, and he was just diagnosed with having gonorrhea. And doctors say, you know, hey, man, we're giving him antibiotics and every other drug that you use to treat it. And the guy, he believes that he got it after he had sex with a woman in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Who the hell knows, but that's a story. Apparently it adds up. Here's the problem with this particular thing, gonorrhea. This guy who was just diagnosed with gonorrhea, he was actually diagnosed with, and I'm quoting, the world's worst case of gonorrhea.
Oh.
The world's worst case of gonorrhea.
How do you determine that?
I will tell you how. Because as doctors say, there's never been a strain that's so good at resisting antibiotics and every other drug and treatment that they throw at it. The really scary thing here, of course, is that if doctors can't find a way to treat it, and right now they truly, like, they're out of ideas. Like, we don't know what to do. If it goes untreated, well, it's finally found a way to mutate into invincibility. And, of course, that would make it from going from a treatable STD to an untreatable STD. And it's the one that can cause pain, infertility, pelvic inflammatory disease, and, of course, odd discharge.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so,
you need to get rid of that.
Man, he knows that, and the doctors know that, but they're like, listen, brother, gonorrhea's been working but the last decade, it's been kind of kicking our ass as far as figuring it out.
That's not what you want to be the best at.
Well, he is. He's patient zero. There he is. Congratulations. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola. Let's get to Color 9 on the line right now for Profile This. 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.